Welcome, Virgo, to your April 2021 reading. Thank you so much for tuning in, Virgo. If this is the first time you've tuned into my channel, I offer free mini readings for all new subscribers. So if you've got a question about this particular reading or something that this reading doesn't cover for you, just click the subscribe button and ask your question in the comments below. Now, this is a general reading, Virgo, so take what resonates and what doesn't resonate, just let go. But just looking at your reading, I just did the Leo reading and Virgo showed up in the Leo reading. And I'm looking at your reading and Virgo and Leo is showing up in your reading. So for some Virgos, you could have a significant Leo in your life that you are really having some significant time with in April, or certainly is playing a significant role in your life. Now, as I mentioned, this is general, so take what resonates and let go of what doesn't. But this month, I'm seeing that you are in a position where you are being faced with a lot of choices. Now, these are emotional choices here, Virgo. Sorry, I'm saying Leo because I just did Leo's reading and I was looking down at the Strength card, which is the card for Leo. But you are having a lot of choices in front of you. Now, this could be a choice between perhaps an air sign or a fire sign. Now, I always say it's more about the character of the people that the cards describe rather than the star signs. So I'll go into a little bit more deeper with the meanings of the people as we go through the reading. But you have the Seven of Cups, and this is that card of being spoiled for choice almost. You have a lot of things that you have in front of you you can choose from. This often is to do with love or something that you're emotional about or passionate about. And the thing with the Seven of Cups is you are in a great position. You have so much in front of you that you can choose from. But sometimes it's like being the kid in the lolly shop. You've got only, 5 cents or 10 cents and you love everything you see, but you can't have everything you see. So you are kind of stuck for choice because you're like, what am I going to choose? Am I going to get that one? Does that taste better than that? You're in a position where you're having to choose, but you can't choose because sometimes there's too many choices that are too good. But what you really are going to be doing in April, I feel, is you are making that choice, Virgo, because you have the Knight of Swords, and this is fast moving action, very quick energy with the Knight of Swords. All knights are movement, but swords are the fastest moving sign. This is like whirlwind kind of energy here. And it can bring about the successful completion to a situation. Now, I got a lot of messages that were coming through as I was shuffling and laying your cards. So I'll try to go through them all. Again, general reading, so take what resonates. But with that Knight of Swords, this is someone, if it's describing a person, it can be an air sign. So that is Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini. But what it does talk about is someone that rushes in without adequately planning. So you've got to be really careful that although you do have all of these wonderful choices in front of you, you aren't that person that's running in without thinking. And by doing that, by running in and not planning things out, you may potentially harm others because it's because you're running in so quickly, there's carelessness there and there's recklessness. and haste. And this can be creating a bit of an issue for some people around you. But this can also describe this particular person. This is somebody who is like this. They have castles in the sky. If you look at the image carefully, you'll see a castle up on the rock. So they're running off to fight battles and doing this and running into things headstrong, but they're not thinking through things through clearly. So this is just, this again represent someone, or it can represent a situation that you could potentially be getting yourself into. Now, this is someone very brilliant, this person, if this represents a person in your life. But as I said, they are that person that's on a quest, and quite often this person is idealistic. They have an idea in their mind that they pursue, but they can be impulsive. So I just feel like just be careful that you aren't taking on a lot of this energy in April as well. But the World card is there. This is that wonderful card that talks about a successful completion. And, whenever there's an end, it's an ending, but it's like an ending that's talking about moving on to the next level in your personal life or in your career. It could be a promotion for some of you, or moving to a new home, to a new city. This can be movement. And this is also a card of enlightenment as well. You've reached this next level in your life where you have this level of enlightenment, and you can see where it is that you've been and where it is that you're going next in life. It's almost like you've completed that, and now you're moving on to something different, and it's wonderful and challenging and new, and you've got clarity there, and you've got an understanding of where it is that you're going as well. So it's quite good energy. Now I feel like you've got a lot of challenging cards here. You've got the 5 of Swords and the 9 of Swords and that Knight of Swords. So swords are quite challenging cards, but right in the middle of all of those is this World card. And so I feel like there is an ending to a lot of these negative situations that you've been having in your life. Now the 5 of Swords there is this card of conflict a little bit. And it's a card about sometimes not making the right choices in life either. But because everything happens for a reason, if there is something that you have made a bad choice about in the past, I feel like this now is coming to an end, and you've resolved a lot of these issues, and you're able to absolutely release any of this emotional pain that has been, and mental pain as well, mental anguish that you've been feeling in April. You're really making a conscious decision to turn your back and move and make a move, metaphorically, also literally. As I said, some of you may be moving, but you are moving away from what it was that created this pain and caused you pain. And even though you're making the decision to move on, and to release a certain part of your life, to turn your back on a certain part of your life and move on, there may be a little bit of pain there in making that decision, but you know that you have to do that to be the person that you want to be, or that you know you are. And, it's interesting, you've got the Tower card here as well. Now, often people see the Tower card as a negative card, but it's just a card of things, the status quo breaking down, and it wasn't right. The tower often that you see in the images is not built correctly. If you look at this one, it's built with blocks and they're uneven, and it looks all very precarious. And when the tower falls down, it's quite shocking and can be stressful sometimes. But you are then able to rebuild things and start anew, start afresh. And again, this is kind of all of this is sort of the world card is in the middle. It's surrounded by the that Knight of Swords and the Tower and the Five of Swords, and the Nine of Swords is right below it. So it's like the world card is talking about everything's coming to a successful completion now. So I don't feel like I don't feel like this is something that's going to be very surprising. I feel like this tower situation where things are going to be something sudden coming in and changing the status quo is going to be quite welcome. You are going to be welcoming this. You've got a lot of worries here, Virgo. You're worrying, some sleepless nights, some stress, but worrying over things that are bigger than you. They're worries that you are making out bigger than what they actually are. And they're unfounded worries, I feel. Now, a lot of you could be struggling with some addictions as well. Gambling, drug addiction, any sort of addiction when the Knight of Swords is there. It's like some sort of mental worries and anguish and turmoil, that kind of stuff. But, just be careful also with the Five of Swords. This can be talking about energy where you've been stabbed in the back. You feel like you've been stabbed in the back, and, this could be what it is that's really hurt you. And this is what you are really choosing to walk away from. Could be that, it could be an air sign, it could be a Leo. But I'm absolutely feeling like this is all connected with that an ending of some sort of situation. Yeah, the Five of Swords there talks about a situation that's actually not really winnable for you. So if you've been in some sort of conflict, or someone's not playing fair, or the odds are stacked up against you, and I kept seeing the dice in that Nine of Swords. It's just, I don't know if you can see it because the crystal's there. It's in the bottom right hand corner, but this is standing out to me so much. So I feel like, when it talks about the odds are against you, if you're gambling with something, it's not winnable, and you might be better just to retreat and live to fight another day, is what the Five of Swords is saying. It's one of those situations where, you could potentially win the battle, but when you look back at the battlefield and you see the catastrophe that has been left behind after the battle, the carnage, you kind of sort of say, is this worth it? So that's what it kind of means that's what I sort of mean when I'm saying it's unwinnable, because even if you win, sometimes it's not worth what you had to go through to get that win. You created more damage and more pain than you have by just letting it go and living to fight another day, which is what this essentially is saying. But you have sort of your second final card is the Strength card, and that is that card of Leo. And this is that strength where you are able to harness. It's an internal strength. It comes deep from within you, and you have courage, and you can get what it is that you want in a way that is not harmful to other people. It's not this controlling kind of energy like the devil. It's an energy where you get what you want, but in a way that no one's harmed and you win. You know what I mean? It's really lovely. It's a really lovely energy. It's like a card that just always talks about good will always triumph over evil in the long run. So if you've had someone in your life that's been stabbing you in the back, or been malicious or not playing fairly, good will always win out in the end. And it's like when you have the Strength card, you're fighting the good fight. So trust your instincts on this one. But as I mentioned, this could potentially be a Leo that is significant, and that could be the Leo that has been stabbing you in the back. Or it could be the Leo that comes in and helps you out, helps you to rise above, which is exactly what it says in your final card, because the Strength card often tells you that you have this unlimited amount of power within you that you don't even realize. And I just feel that it's like this wonderful burning energy inside you, because Leo is a fire sign. So I feel like you are, something inside of you is really coming out of you. It's almost like true kindness is coming forth, and you're able to find something in yourself, that ability to forgive. You have this wonderful thing inside you. And you're also asked, when the Strength card comes out, you're also asked to let go of any judgments of yourself. You know, if you've been berating yourself and you haven't been good enough, and I haven't been good enough, and I haven't done this, and I've failed at that, you've got to have forgiveness and tolerance for yourself as well. That's really important. So I do see a few little challenges here for you, Virgo, but they are definitely coming to an end. You are making that conscious decision, although it may be a little bit painful, to walk away from things that have been hurting you and not continuing to be involved in this battle, this unwinnable battle. Now, your final card, as I said, rising above, and this really seems quite significant when you look at all of your other cards. And the affirmation for this card is, I see only beauty and grace. And the meaning of this card is, let go of the ordinary and step into the extraordinary. You have potential that you haven't even begun to tap into. This is the time to reach higher than ever before. So do not fall down before doubt. Remember your true calling. The universe wants you to know, just as the lotus rises out of the mud into the light, so you are rising up to even greater heights. Sometimes this occurs naturally, and sometimes it's an act of will. This is the time to rise above any situation that's not empowering. Even if there are some people you might leave behind, let your light shine for all to see. Rise up and step into your potential. You are indeed a healer, a teacher, a leader. that just ties in with so many cards, Leo. That ties in with the Strength card there. It ties in with that Five of Swords. It ties in with the Tower card as well. You are rising up, rising out of the rubble of that tower when it crumbles down. It ties in with that Eight of Cups as well. You may have to leave certain situations or certain people behind, and it might be a little bit painful, but you know you need to do this, as I said before, so you can be the person who you are meant to be. So you can be the person that you were put on this planet to be. So I hope that resonated with you, Virgo, and it wasn't too heavy with all of those swords there. I do feel like this is positive. I'm feeling like April is going to be quite significant for you, and you are going to be able to be making a lot of changes. A lot of shifting is happening for you, and things are moving forward to something wonderful for you. So have a wonderful month, and I hope to see you next month. Bye, Virgo.